All right, let's dive right in. We're going to talk about a really powerful way to structure your content. And I'm not just talking about for the people who read it, but for the AIs and search engines that are, let's be honest, deciding who gets to see it in the first place. This is all about making your content findable, extractable, and totally future-proof. So let's start with a tough question. Think about it. You spend hours, maybe even days, crafting what you think is the perfect article. But what if, to Google, to ChatGPT, and to all these systems, it's pretty much invisible? This is a huge problem for creators right now. And this is really the core challenge of the modern web, isn't it? You're writing for a human audience, but there's this incredibly powerful middleman, the algorithm. Machines are the gatekeepers, and if you don't learn to speak their language, your audience might never even find you. So what's the solution? Well, it's a concept called the atomic answer block. Now, this isn't just a writing style, it's a whole strategy. It's about building your content so it's perfectly designed for both humans and machines to find, understand, and, crucially, reuse. You know, the easiest way to get your head around this is to think about Lego. Imagine your content isn't one big solid sculpture, but a collection of individual Lego bricks. Each brick is its own self-contained, perfectly formed piece of information that can be picked up and used all by itself. That's the heart of this atomic idea. What we're talking about here is a pretty fundamental shift in thinking. You know, the old way was all about these long, flowing narratives with really clever, creative headings. The new way is all about these discrete, atomic sections with headings that are direct questions, the exact kinds of questions people are typing into search bars. Okay, so let's get practical. How do you actually build one of these perfect little information bricks? We're going to break down the anatomy of a single answer block right now. It all starts with your heading, usually a subheading like an H3. Now, this is not the place to be clever or cute. This is the place to be brutally direct. You want to use the exact question your users are asking. This acts like a massive signal, a retrieval anchor, for search engines to latch right onto. So once you have that question heading nailed down, the structure underneath it is super simple, but incredibly powerful. You lead with a direct answer, you back it up with a proof point, and then you provide the expanded context. Let's dig into each of those. First up, that's direct answer. This is your money shot. Right after the heading, you give a concise 40 to 60 word declarative sentence that answers the question. No marketing fluff, no warm-up. This is the exact snippet that machines love to grab and use as a citation. Okay, after that direct answer, you build out the rest of the block. You add one single sentence of proof, maybe a statistic or a really good example, then maybe one or two short paragraphs for more context, and if it's a process, use a nice clean list or some numbered steps. This structure makes sure every little piece of information is distinct and super easy for a machine to pull out. Alright, so we know how to build one brick. Now let's zoom out. How do all these blocks combine to build an entire article? How do we put them together so they actually make sense as a whole? Well, there's actually a target length for each complete atomic section, each of those H3 blocks, and you want to aim for something between 200 and 400 words. That really seems to be the sweet spot. It's enough context for a human reader, but it's still compact enough for a machine to easily extract. Now, this requires some discipline. If you find yourself wanting to go off on a long tangent about something, you have to resist. The rule is simple. If a concept needs more explanation, don't cram it in. Just give it its own atomic block with its own new question heading. You have to preserve that single purpose purity. Okay, now we get to the really powerful stuff. This is about embedding data directly into your content that makes each and every block smart and traceable for machines. Now, I know this might look a little technical, but the idea is super simple. Each of your atomic blocks gets its own little data sheet or manifest. You just add fields like a unique section ID, an intent tag to specify what the user is trying to do, and a last review date. This makes every single block totally traceable and understandable to automated systems. And so what? Why does that matter? Because this manifest is what allows you to automatically turn these blocks into totally different assets. Just imagine systems that can auto-generate your social media posts or snippets for a video script or lines for an email, all pulling from these perfectly structured machine-readable blocks. It's a game changer. You know, the final piece of the puzzle here is trust. Both humans and algorithms need to see that your content is credible. So things like prominent author bylines, clearly visible last modified date, and links to professional profiles, they aren't just nice to haves anymore. They are absolutely essential signals of authority. So we've covered the what and the how. Now let's really focus on the why. What is the real payoff for rethinking your entire content workflow around this idea? The benefits are huge. I mean, you massively increase your chances of being chosen for AI answers and getting those amazing featured snippets. You're basically future-proofing your content for whatever comes next. You unlock this incredible ability to reuse and repurpose your content at scale, and it creates a clear, repeatable workflow for your entire team. It's a win all around. Look, if you take only one thing away from all this, let it be this right here. The big mindset shift is to treat that first direct answer sentence as a canonical quote. It's a pure piece of information designed to be lifted and used somewhere else. You have to keep it clean, keep it declarative, and let it do the heavy lifting for you. So this leaves us with one last question you have to ask yourself. When you look at your own work, your own strategy, is your content actually built to be found in this new world of search and AI, or is it just being written and left to chance? The choice and the opportunity is all yours.